Jim Rohn's Guide to Transforming Knowledge into Action. Ladies and gentlemen, imagine you've just woken up with a new year ahead, filled with aspirations, goals, and dreams. You're excited about the possibilities that await, but then reality sets in. How do you take all that knowledge and transform it into tangible actions? Today, we're diving into Jim Rohn's guide on how to turn your knowledge into action. And I believe you'll find this incredibly insightful and motivating. Let me tell you this, have you ever felt stuck in a rut, unable to move forward despite knowing what you need to do? It's one thing to have ideas and plans, but another entirely to put them into practice. That's where Jim Rohn comes in. Here's something you should know. Jim Rohn was a master motivator, author, and lecturer who lived by the philosophy that success is the result of taking consistent action. His teachings have been influential for decades, and his guide to transforming knowledge into action is a must-read for anyone looking to achieve their goals. You might be wondering, how does someone like Jim Rohn define action? Well, he believes that action is more important than knowledge. Knowledge alone doesn't guarantee success. It's the application of that knowledge that makes the difference. So let's break down his guide and see how we can apply these principles to our own lives. Firstly, Rohn emphasizes the importance of setting clear and specific goals. Without a clear vision of what you want to achieve, it's challenging to make meaningful progress. He says, your goal is not to be rich or famous, but to fulfill your potential. Now here's a personal anecdote. A few years ago, I had a vague idea that I wanted to write a book someday. But when I sat down to write, I found myself getting distracted by other tasks and never making significant progress. After reading Rohn's advice, I set a specific goal to write a chapter every week. This small, actionable step gave me a roadmap and a sense of purpose, and before long, I had completed my first draft. Setting a clear goal and breaking it down into manageable steps can be incredibly empowering. Next, Rohn stresses the role of discipline in achieving your goals. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. He believes that success is not about being smart or talented. It's about being willing to work hard and stick with it. Think about it this way. If you were a marathon runner, would you expect to win the race just because you're good at running? No, you train, practice, and prepare. Similarly, if you want to succeed in life, you need to train yourself through discipline. Rohn suggests that you create a habit of doing the things you need to do every day. For instance, if you want to get fit, you commit to exercising 3 times a week. Over time, this becomes a part of your routine. Another key aspect of Rohn's guide is the power of consistency. Consistency is the difference between a person who talks about their goals and a person who actually achieves them. Rohn says, success is the sum total of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. I remember when I started working on my business. Initially, I had grand visions of success, but I didn't act on them. It wasn't until I began implementing small, consistent actions that my business started growing. Every morning, I spent 30 minutes writing emails, creating content, and networking. These small actions added up over time, and my business gradually expanded. Consistency is crucial because it helps you build momentum and stay focused. Rohn also highlights the importance of accountability. He argues that without someone holding you accountable, you'll likely fall short of your goals. He suggests finding a mentor or accountability partner who can keep you motivated and push you to achieve your objectives. A great example of accountability in action is the story of Jocko Willink, a Navy SEAL and former combat leader. He credits his success to having a strict daily routine and a team of trusted advisors who held him accountable. When asked about his secret to success, he said, "Accountability is the difference between talking about it and actually doing it." Lastly, Rohn reminds us that failure is not the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone to success. He believes that setbacks are inevitable, but they shouldn't discourage you. Instead, view them as opportunities to learn and improve. Let's look at a real-life example. Elon Musk has faced numerous failures in his career. From the failed PayPal acquisition to the bankruptcy of SolarCity, he experienced numerous setbacks. Yet, he didn't let these failures deter him. Instead, he used them as learning experiences, which eventually led to groundbreaking achievements like SpaceX and Tesla. In conclusion, transforming knowledge into action requires setting clear goals, building discipline, practicing consistency, and finding accountability. As Jim Rohn once said, "You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you react to those things." By following his guide, you can turn your knowledge into powerful action and ultimately achieve your dreams. So, what will you do today to start moving towards your goals? Will you take the first step towards your dream, no matter how small? Remember, the journey starts with a single step, and every step brings you closer to your destination. That's all for today's session. I hope you found this guide inspiring and motivating. Thank you for tuning in, and I wish you all the best on your journey to turning knowledge into action.